A devastating U.S. Dust Bowl is twice as likely now than during the Great Depression. Some of these pictures are from the Dust Bowl of Texas, Stratford, Texas, April 1935. Due to global warming, the United States is today more than twice as likely to endure a devastating Dust Bowl scenario than during the Great Depression, researchers said on Monday. Nearly a decade of heat waves and massive dust storms across the U.S. Great Plains in the 1930s ruined agricultural land and drove tens of thousands of farming families far and wide in search for food and work. The 1930s Dust Bowl heat waves were extremely rare events that we might expect to see occur once 100 years. This is what Tim Cohen, researcher at University of Southern Queensland, Australia, said. He's the lead author of a study in Nature Climate Change. He said under today's levels of greenhouse gases, they're more than twice as likely to occur, with their period of return reduced to once in around 40 years. Even in the 1930s, the fingerprint of global warming was perceptible, although the impact on weather and climate was then extremely small. Nearly a century later, the signature of human-induced climate change is unmistakable, and portents even more dire events, said senior author Federico Otto, acting director of the Environment Change Institute in University of Oxford. And she said, if extreme heat waves and drought reduces the vegetation as they did in the 1930s, heat waves could become even stronger, threatening global food supplies. This scenario is more likely than ever and should urge us to develop and implement more ambitious adaptation and mitigation plans. Mitigation refers to reducing the source of greenhouse gases, which are produced overwhelmingly by the burning of fossil fuels. And the U.S. West is a mega drought. Otto is a world leader in the growing field of attribution science, which uses observational data and simulations based on computer modeling to tease out the impact of global warming from natural variations in weather and climate. Her warning is backed up by research published in March, which shows that a multi-year Dust Bowl type drought in the U.S. could deplete U.S. grain stores and have a cascading effect through the world's food system. A 4-year decline in wheat production of the same proportional magnitude as occurred during the Dust Bowl greatly reduces both wheat supply and the reserves in the United States and propagates through the global trade network. This is what a team led by Alison Heslin at Columbia University reported in Frontiers in Sustainable Food Systems. And by the 4th year of such an event, the U.S. wheat exports would fall by half, and the country would exhaust 94% of its reserves, they calculated. In the year 1936, this still holds the record for the hottest year in the continental United States, but the country is tracking towards even warmer summers. A study last month in the journal Science concluded that the western United States has likely entered a period of mega drought, the 4th in 1,200 years, that could last decades and even a century. Global 19 out of 20 of the warmest years on record have occurred this century, and average global surface temperatures, including over oceans, have increased about 1.1 degrees Celsius since the pre-industrial era, the standard benchmark for global warming. This is from Agency France Presse, and it's on Science Alert by Marlo Hood, AFP. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, And we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.